blog, send us your Twitter account, send us everything you have to kind of show what you're doing online, because it's so important in what we're doing, you know, what you're doing online. And so I sent them all those things, and Katie, who's the one who hired me, said, we love your blog, we love that you were passionate, we love that you were willing to do whatever it takes to be a part of this. And like, she still cites my blog as part of why they hired me, because it showed what I was doing, what I was passionate about. I even have, this is my Twitter account for my cat right here. I'm kind of a crazy cat lady, and that's something that I'm passionate about that has nothing to do with work, but you know, even that like adds to, I'm passionate about something. And so what Ed always says is, our CEO said, you know, you can't teach passion. So we can teach, if we have an intern, we can teach them to do a ton of things, but you can't teach someone to be passionate about their job and to love what they're doing. And so that's what they, you know, when they talk about the hiring process, that's really what they're looking for.
And this is me. It's not as robust, but I have my niche, which is Facebook, and
your videos.
And yeah, I do a lot of videos. I love videos.
She's like, come do my video, and I'm like.
But I love to write, and Shibble, you know, gave me the opportunity to start blogging. But how I, you know, got the job is I was literally laying out. Like, that video is not exaggerating. I was laying out with my laptop, and I started going and looking what my friends were doing. Come on in. So I was literally at my wit's end. I was doing temp jobs. It was just not satisfying for me. And I found that you have to know somebody. Monster was not doing it, Career Builder, nothing. And so I started going and looking what acquaintances on Facebook, my friends, going to their employment section and seeing what they were doing. And one of my friends, Maggie, who I grew up with, I saw that she worked at Schipul, and I saw these photos of her from work and out and about, these crazy fun events, artsy. And I was like, I have to work here. And it turns out they had a position open, and so I messaged her, and she kind of got my name in the door. But it was because I saw where she worked on Facebook, and I saw her photos, and then that's where, you know, I just called religiously after my first interview. I mean, I even like brought in my artwork because that's something I was passionate about. Has nothing to do with my job title right now at all. I just really wanted the job. So that's, you know, kind of my story.
Well, and part of the reason why they picked you, Erin said, was because your network on Facebook was...
yeah. I had like the most friends on Facebook.
Of all the people they interviewed.
So, and
how many?
There's about 1,500 or so, and I promise that I met. I promise. I like to go to a lot of events. But I guess what it all comes down to, and the underlying factor here is, you know, you're going to be on social networks looking for a job, but it's all about your personal brand. Caitlin is a rock star with her personal brand, and I want to, you know, I'm not as good as she is, but you can use your personal brand, you can use your passions, you can use what you're talking about, your content that you're putting out there online for employers to actually see that you are much more than a resume. And, you know, even if you're into cats, and, you know, I'm into the Dallas Cowboys, like die hard, they like that because it makes you a well-rounded person. So this is just kind of just to throw it in your face, not to, but, you know, in 2008 there were 1.2 million job losses and over 1.5 million college graduates. That's a pretty close number, and that I think is even more, you know, affirming or reinforces, yeah, that you need to be unique. And you need to show, you don't need to hide who you truly are. You know, blog about, you know, if you love cupcakes, blog about it. If you cook them, blog about it. So I think that's just a little statistic that's kind of scary. But this is even scarier, is everything that's out there. I mean, it's like, what do you use and what do you choose? And so what we want to show you today is the tools that we think would be the best to, you know, start off with, to kind of put your time in, but ultimately you need to try it, and then you'll really find, you know, where you need to be online. So the first one.
So first we're going to talk a little bit about blogging, and as I mentioned, this is a big part of, I am a big fan of blogging. So this is the story that we kind of alluded to in the video, these screenshots. So J-Mo, who is the guy you saw in the video earlier, he has a blog and he writes about work-related stuff and not work-related stuff. He started writing a lot about, when he graduated, about work environment and things that like why millennials struggle for jobs and things that were more in line with finding a job, because that's what he was going through. And then he got the attention of Ed Schipul, who's our CEO, and so Ed would comment on his posts, and then they started following each other on Twitter, and they sort of got to know each other that way. And that was before he even came in for a job interview. And so, as Courtney mentioned, it definitely helps to know someone, but you don't have to physically, you don't always have to like be their second cousin. They sort of got to know each other online before, this was his first impression before JMO ever walked in the door. And so this is an example, and an interesting thing about this is that JMO has actually taken comments off of his blog right now. You can't comment on anything, and Ed gives him a lot of crap for that, because he says, what if you didn't have comments when we were looking for you, and then what opportunities are you missing by doing that? So we have some points up here. These are sort of the do's of if you're going to start a blog. And the biggest one is to post content regularly. It doesn't have to be every day. It doesn't even have to be every week. Sometimes I get really busy and I don't post, I don't update my blog for a couple weeks at a time, but just posting content so that if somebody goes there, they see, oh, this is what you're about, and these are the kinds of things that you're passionate about. The other thing is make it easy for people to contact you. My blog kind of serves as a hub of everything online. Like if you go to qk.com, you can see on the sidebar links to my Flickr and my Vimeo and my Twitter and my Delicious and everything. And so I think a blog is a great place to sort of cultivate all of that. And so an important thing that people leave out sometimes is he's got his little footer, and he has a contact form. I just have my email address posted, is make it easy for people to get a hold of you. If someone finds you and they think you're interesting, and if you're worried about spam, set up a separate Gmail account that, you don't check every single day, but you can go check and see what's going on. So make it easy for people to contact you. Allow comments, we kind of talked about that. And then the biggest thing is be yourself. Like I said, I blog about marketing and PR and social media, but I also blog about pop culture. I'm a big pop culture junkie, so I blog about American Idol and stuff like that sometimes. So it's okay. It's okay to have other passions outside of exactly what you're doing. So here's some tools to check out. The biggest one I want to stress is WordPress, and WordPress is what my blog is built on. They're free. WordPress.com you can snag a free blog with a free URL and just kind of try it out and play with it.